Vocalo Radio, Chicago's only urban alternative, 91.1 FM. That song, Bartees Strange, Line 95. Bartees is playing Thalia Hall tonight in Chicago. And coincidentally, we do have a Bartees Strange in studio with us. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
And I love how we said at the beginning of this interview, we're both in a very chill mode.
Yeah.
You have to love that when the host and the interviewee are both on the same energy level.
Yeah.
You know, I feel the vibes.
Yeah, it's rare.
Definitely. So you're kind of near the tail end of this tour.
Yeah.
How's tour life been so far?
Tour life. I mean, it's my life. It's fine. I love it. You know, I love to play, and it's nice to move around the country and see how people react to the music. So, you know, net positive.
Do you get homesick? I mean, you have 2 more stops, Detroit and then Canada, and then you're done.
Yeah, I don't know if I get homesick, but I get like bed sick. You know, like I want to be in my bed with my TV and my stuff. You know.
Yeah,
like,
my memory foam.
Yeah, you know.
My duvet, right?
This is like the first time I like really invested in a bed. So I've got like a huge king size bed that is like really comfy, and I just can't wait to be in it again.
We love that for you.
Yeah.
And you have only a few more days before that's done.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, your show tonight, do you have any pre-show rituals? Like, you know, are you just everyone leave me alone, I'm going to meditate? Or do you do jumping jacks before you get on stage? What's your ritual?
No, I try to treat it like a normal day. Like,
okay.
I try to just, normally when I get to the venue, I don't like to leave. I like to just kind of like be in the venue or around it. And just hang out with the band, whatever, you know, like I don't like to overhype it or be like, tonight we go and we put on the best show. None of that. Like, it's just like, you know, tonight we do what we've always done. And, you know, that's it.
Well, thank you for stopping by before.
Yeah, of course.
We're kind of interrupting your ritual, but we appreciate you coming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one thing that I really love while learning more about your music, and you have such a kind of like a crazy backstory. You've lived in 1,000 different places, 1,000 different cities. But one of the things I really loved is, like, you know, one of the first secular songs you heard was the Backstreet Boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you're like a Backstreet Boy fan.
Huge.
So
Yeah.
you were Team Backstreet, like when it was them versus NSYNC.
Yeah, big time.
Same.
Big time.
So when you heard that, like, did you are we ever gonna hear a Bartees Strange rendition of I Want It That Way, you know, acoustically done by you?
That's such a good idea.
Right?
Yeah, you probably will now.
I want to hear it.
Yeah,
like, that's what I want to hear.
That's actually a good idea. I should do that. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll write it down. We'll remind
When
you.
y'all have the video stuff set up here, I'll come and do it here.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I love that. Speaking of, you know, we're gonna do performances here at Navy Pier and the Vocalo headquarters, but you've done an actual Tiny Desk. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a dream come true. You know, like I've seen a lot of Tiny Desks, and it's cool to actually do it in DC and meet the staff, and it's a really crazy platform, and so I think a lot of people heard my music through it, which was really cool. Yeah, very special experience. Unforgettable. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the music you did was, you know, pretty recent. Your most recent album, you know, it came out this year, Horror.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking at comments and stuff, and a lot of people were saying, you know, it gives me like a very like Fleetwood Mac, like Hall & Oates vibes. Like, what is the biggest compliment to you? Like when you read some of these comparing you to some of these like legendary bands?
The one that makes me feel the best is when people say, "Oh, it's like Prince."
Oh my gosh.
Because
yeah.
in my mind, that's like my idol. And I feel like the way he approached music is like nothing's off limits. Like anything you've ever heard, you can pull from to make a new thing. And that's kind of how I make songs. So I saw that a couple times, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's how I feel too."
That one's. Did you shed a little tear when you read that?
Yeah.
This is one that I really felt. I saw this comment on the Tiny Desk video, and they said, "This is my first time hearing this, but this sound feels so familiar. And I was like, that is what kind of, it's like when you first hear a song, you're like, have I heard, it's like a familiar feeling. And so when I read that comment, I was like, that's like the best way to kind of describe the experience of your music. So when you are in the process of making your music, do you have to block out all that noise? Like, the comparisons and, what people expect to hear from you?
Well, I think people don't know what they're going to hear from me. I think I've kind of established that. Like, whatever happens is just going to happen. Like, it always is a surprise. I surprise myself with what's going to come out. But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to making the songs, I don't ever really have a picture in my mind of what I want the song to be. I'm just kind of like following the breadcrumbs of the song until it's completely done. And then I'm like, oh, cool, that's the song. So it's really like an explorative process for me. I rarely know what it's going to be before it's done.
Wow, that's so unique. And another song we're gonna play right here is probably like one of my favorite. And it became my favorite because I saw when you did it live on Tiny Desk. Too Much. Could you give us some background to this song?
Yeah, Too Much is the first song on the record, and it's the first song that I wrote for the record. And it's kind of a song about feeling overwhelmed. It's like looking at life and all of its chapters and just being like, how do you do this? And so the song is kind of written in 3 big swings. There's like, you'll hear it, but it's me kind of navigating these different parts of myself and figuring out which one should have more space or less in the world.
And what's next for you? So you're done with this tour. I see you've been getting a lot of press. You did a performance on, John Mulaney's show on Netflix. Like, I feel like there's kind of like the hype. Like, what's next for you after this tour is done?
There's a couple records I'm producing, so I'll go home and work on those. Got some really cool writing stuff I have to do, and then I'll go to Europe in August for about 3.5 weeks, and then hopefully some like really big famous band takes me on tour in the fall, and then I'll do that. That'd be cool. Open call to any famous people listening to this.
So you're ready to go back on the road again?
Well, I'm kind of just want to shove the record down people's throats, kind of. So yeah, I should probably keep doing that.
I love the honesty in that, right? That's really like, as a musician, you make the music, and then there's that second half where like you kind of got to sell it, huh?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's get into this record. If you're just tuning in, we're in the studio with Bartees Strange tonight. Your show at Thalia Hall. What could people expect? What are going to be the vibes in the building?
Well, first off, the opener is Sloppy Jane. They're incredible, incredibly theatric, like performer and band, huge band, very, very gifted people. And then we'll play, and our set is like, sounds like the radio. It's like every song's different, and there's something there for everyone, I really believe. So high energy, a lot of fun.
Wednesdays are a great night for shows because
midweek.
Yes, hump day. Let's get into this next song, and thank you so much for stopping by Vocalo, Bartees.
Thank you.